What is going on YouTube? Dr. Railway here. And this is the video that's going to get a lot of people. So we were having a little discussion about what's the best commanders for this person, where they should put their universal epics at, and a whole bunch of little other stuff. And then somebody asked, what's the best civilization? And we said it depends on how much money you spend and then, what you're trying to do. Okay. And the thing is that even after he told us he's a medium spender, this is what I'm trying to do, it still really depends. It 100% depends on what you're doing, when you're doing it, and at what stage of the game you're at. Okay, I've already done a guide about like early game civilizations, right? For the early game, you're either going to choose China, Britain, or Germany. 100%. Like, I'm not seeing reasons why you wouldn't do anything else, especially China in the beginning, and then switching to Germany. Britain's more for the character. The troop training speed is still nice. China's for the build speed and the commander, and then Germany's flat out just for the bonuses, right? The training speed and the action point recovery are like really really good. Honestly, I could that's the beginner stuff, right? This is an advanced civilization guide, so this information is contingent upon a few things. Number one is that you already have your T4 units, and two, you already got at least to a good spot in your city buildings progression. So, obviously, once you get to a certain point, the buildings are going to be worth less and less and less. So once I get to about honestly 24, City Hall 24, everything that I could do before, I could pretty much do everything. Like most research, right? Besides for T5 and all that bullshit, right? And then I have very few buildings that I would need to upgrade at that point to get to 25, right? So the buildings might start mattering a lot less. You're going to be a lot closer to KVK, and then the troop training and the research really start to matter a whole lot more in priority, right? Okay, that's the stage of the game I'm assuming that you're at. And I would say it's probably, even for me, a little early to really be. You can think about it for sure, have the plan in place, but even for me, it's still a little bit early to be switching to like a very fighting oriented mindset, because I'm still in a development state. There's still tons of research I got to do. I don't have a full 200K of each troop type yet, right? So there's a lot of other things that need to happen before you start like, okay, I'm gonna go all into the fighting combat section, because the utility um, that certain civilizations offer, right, are still valid, especially when you're still trying to build out your account, right? Your commanders aren't level 60 yet. You don't have a full dedicated march. You're still working on your tech, right? You're still trying to get to City Hall 25 and get Academy 25 for T5. Like your account's still in development, right? Still. So some of that utility stuff, while it might not be good for combat, it's still good for your account. That's the underlying context in which I'm approaching this video. Super important, right? All right, so now let's go to the civilization swap so I can show you. And I'll tell you what I think. Thought you could swap here. Okay, maybe not. I'm gonna tell you what I think, and then give you as much information as I can, and then I'll tell you what my personal strategy is. Okay, amen. Slowing down. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna do this one right. I'm gonna do y'all so much justice on this video. It's not even funny. Okay, so when you're looking at a civilization and we're still in the early game, like wow, like mid game, right? We're not even there. This is still the early fucking game, right? But as you get closer to City Hall 24, you're starting to get a full, more of a full march. You know, at least 150, 160k units, at least. Your commanders are in a way better spot. You know, you're pushing some of the higher tiers of the tech, right? Okay, you're at this stage. Development is still important, but maybe a little bit less important as you're preparing for KVK. Boom, there you go. So what you actually care about, you know, utility is one of the things you're looking for, right? The commanders at this point don't matter at all. Like this is something that you switch to, not that you start with, right? So the commander doesn't matter at all. The utility that you get matters. The combat effectiveness of the units matter. Of the civilization matters rather, and then the unit itself starts to actually be a little bit more important. And I would still say like the special unit isn't the end all be all. There's certain you gotta kind of take the whole civilization as a whole and not just focus on the special unit. But we're gonna talk about the special unit because that is relevant. Like the base stats that you want to increase, you know, are relevant, right? So I'm on Germany for a reason, by the way. Here it is. If you want a nice blend, I'm not even gonna make this video for everybody that doesn't want to watch this video any longer. If you're not a rally leader, which is almost everybody, you would know if you're a rally leader or a flag defender. You 100% you would know, right? If that's not you, which even for me, it's not, right? Germany gives you a nice blend of everything, 100%. The Teutonic Knight is actually probably arguably the best or the second best special unit for cavalry. I'm gonna say that it's the best, but some people say otherwise just because of the combination of the other one, and I'll get into that later. So like the Teutonic Knight gives you increased health and defense on your cavalry, which is super good, right? That's the stat. That's the base stat that you want the most of, is the defense and health, not the attack. But it still rounds it out by giving you 5% attack from Germany itself. The troop training speed is 100% relevant, right? Like I said, it takes 140 days to get to a full, you know, T4 march, no speed ups, using my training speed. Part of that equation is the 5% I get from Germany. The 10% action point recovery, if you're very active, which if you're at least you know, in an alliance that we're you got to be on every day, reducing your action points to 0, right? Reducing your action points so when you wake up in the morning, you're not filled up and wasting any, right? That's extremely relevant. You can turn it into almost any fucking thing. Like all those events that you do, you turn it into value. The barbs, leveling up your commanders, you have more opportunities to level up your commanders more each day because of, you know, more resources from killing the barbs. Like again, events all around. It's a very versatile thing to have 10% action point recovery. It just really is. Like I said before, on top of the special unit actually being good, it's just the commander that's kind of iffy. Like, why do I have an archer commander for such a strong ass cavalry, uh, you know, civilization? But you're switching to Germany, so you're not actually getting the commander. So boom, if you don't want to go any further, you're not a rally leader, you don't even want to complicate your life, pick Germany and never fucking switch again. It's fine. Especially if you like cavalry, which most people really will like cavalry, especially in the early game. Boom. We're done. Now, I'm going to start just knocking people off the list because they're not even relevant in my opinion. Britain. The troop training speed is nice, but Archer, the long bowmen are the one that you don't even want The garrison capacity doesn't really matter all that much. The training speed is nice, and the commander is nice, but like again, we don't care about the commander. Britain gets the axe, literally the axe, right? And then if you were to go Britain, just go Germany. It's better. The upgraded version. This is the great value Walmart version of Germany. Boom. Okay. China gets the axe. And the Chuko Nu isn't even a bad special unit, right? It gives you the stats that you actually want. It's just that at some point the building speed ain't gonna mean nothing, right? And you can stay China for a very long time. I'm not saying switch, right? But at some point, you know, the build speed doesn't matter all that much anymore. So at some point, China's gonna get the axe too, right? Japan gets the axe automatically, right? This is a great. The samurai is like one of the weak, is probably the weakest special unit, but that's not for infantry. But that's not even an important part. The more thing that makes Japan get the axe, gathering speed, troop attack, it's fine. Scout march speed, like that actually becomes irrelevant pretty fast. Got to get in Season of Conquest, you got to clear the fog again, but still, no, like, come on. Japan gets the axe too. Okay. Who else gets the axe? Spain. Spain gets the axe just because there's two clear-cut winners on the cavalry. Not so much that Spain is bad. The defense is nice, but the Conquistador gives you just too much attack. Right, the damage experience gain is relevant, and the resource production is relevant all the time. At some point, you're going to stop leveling up your commander, so that becomes a little, one thing becomes like ignorable. But and like if you went Spain, like I'm not going to grill you. Like Spain is okay, but the other two cavalry ones are just so fucking good, right? Spain gets the axe, right? Okay. And Byzantium, like the increased cavalry health and the cataphract increases, I think, like a whole bunch of defense. It's a tanky ass cavalry, right? It's a tanky ass cavalry special unit in comparison with Byzantium. The hospital capacity, is okay. I'm not gonna give Byzantium the axe. I'm not going to give them the axe because if you did a lot of fighting, right, and you weren't a rally leader, which would make you go to the other one I'm going to talk about, the other cavalry unit. Because the thing with Germany is, like, Germany is good all around, but, like, when you're fighting, the hospital capacity might actually be relevant, especially if you get rallied, in KVK. So maybe in KVK you go Byzantium, and then, like, normally you're Germany. Like, I could see that argumentation. I'm not going to give Byzantium the axe for that specific thing where before pre-KVK, you're training up troops using the action point recovery, boom. And then once you start fighting for that last portion of KVK, you switch to Byzantium because you anticipate you utilizing the hospital capacity. I could see that working out in your favor if you're doing a lot of fighting. I can see that working out in your favor. I'm gonna not give Byzantium an axe as much as I probably wanted to. Like the stone, and like obviously you're not getting that, but the health and then the special unit is a very good unit. Because it gives straight defense and 5%. I like it. I'm not even gonna knock that one for the pure fighting capabilities. No utility, not really, but great fighting. 100% great fighting. Okay, so those are all the ones that get the axe. And see, the ones that don't get the axe are actually pretty good combat-wise. So let's go to archers first so I can like build up the suspense. Like I talked about all this cavalry stuff. I'm going to do archers to make y'all wait because I know everybody was like, okay, where's the calves? Well, I don't want to hear about the calves. Fucking doctor, don't tell me about all these other. I don't care about archers. I'm going to make you do archers first. Okay. So like Two of the archer commanders already got the chopping block, and like I said, the Chukon Nu are actually okay. So if you want to go archers in early game while you're still in development, okay, fine, but then archers aren't that strong in the beginning. China still gets the axe. Okay, Britain gets the axe. Trash. Germany's better for the utility, better special units. So now the two options you have are Korea and the Ottoman Empire, right? And one thing that I want to point out is that archers are not particularly strong in the early game. And if you were going for an early game, like again, that's what we are. So I'm trying to keep it relevant to my alliance, right? Is that like you could do it, right? But you can. I'm not gonna tell you not to necessarily do it, but I think going calves or infantry is probably better for your account. Now I could see if our whale or somebody else going to be a rally leader would do either Korea or Ottoman Empire, right? And the Harang is the best special unit for archers. Slam dunk. The special unit is better than all the other ones. And the defense, extra defense is nice. You like that. The hospital capacity could be nice again because you're fighting. That's relevant. I'm not gonna knock that. But the research speed is okay. I guess you can KVK if you because like again I'm recommending this more towards a rally leader. If you were, a rally leader, you're pretty much done building most of your major buildings, right? Your City Hall 25 and shit like that. The research speed it will help you, and then like again you usually will have your fighting civilization and then you switch back to something that offers more utility when you're not fighting. That's kind of the cycle that most people take. That's a cycle that I'm going to take. So getting that extra 3% research speed while you're fighting, I would say that's okay, right? Now and like let's say you wanted to like really go all in on archers, right? Because that's what you bring into the field the most at that particular time. I would say Korea is okay just for that period of time when you're fighting. Switch to something better that offers way more utility later, right? Okay, now the thing with the Ottoman Empire, which I highly, and I mean highly recommend for rally leaders, and then even if you wanted to be in the open field, you know what? Even if you weren't a rally leader, I would say Ottoman is okay. I'm actually like, even though the Harang, right, the Harang or however you pronounce it, is the better unit, the Janissary is a pretty good second. The Archer health is better than, technically speaking, better than the Archer defense that you would get. The troop march speed to increase the Archer's speed, and they are a little slow, is relevant, and it'll increase all march speeds, just not the Janissary, right? And then the active skill damage. If you're going archers, that archers just do big red numbers, right? Lots of skill damage. If that was what you were trying to do, I like it. It's also a good choice if you are a rally leader. It's a very good choice as well. And I would make the argument that this is all in on the fighting plan, and I would prefer this civilization over Korea in a general sense, right? Just because the 3% is like nice, but I feel like they try to trap you because I know how long it takes. Like, don't get me wrong, I know, thousands of hours it takes of research to get to T5 troops. Trust me, I know, but you can get so much more utility from other civilizations, right? That's not just the research speed. If you're a whale, right? If you're a whale and then you switch to this and then you just do tons of research over the course of like a short period of time, let's say a week, hell yeah, you'll feel that 3%. But we talking about an extended period of time, it'll matter. But if you're not using the speed ups like crazy, because you get diminishing return, so 3% won't mean that much, as much, later. So I'm gonna say for archers, man, the Ottoman Empire has to win it. Just because, like, when you're fighting, and you're fighting hard. March, speed, skill, damage, health, good special unit. Archers, you're fighting, right? I like that. They get the number one Ottoman Empire for archers, number one, especially if you lead in rallies, right? Especially if you lead in rallies. Okay. So now we're gonna do infantry because I'm still making you wait on the calves. The infantry is a interesting one because the best unit is actually the kind of the weakest. Kind of the weakest in terms of like the civilization bonuses, kind of. Now you get increased troop health, right? 3%, which is nice. And throwing axemen on France are the hands down the best unit. It's like all health, -1 point, right? In fact, I think it's probably the best special unit in the game because it's like literally all health, right? There's not a lot of units that do that. It's a great unit. 3% troop health is nice, and that's on all troops. That's even better, right? That's a stat you want the most of. The wood gathering speed is like, at some point resources aren't really a problem. Then a hospital healing speed, 20% seems like a lot. And it might be pretty good if you didn't have a lot of hospital speed, already. But to 20, you would have to, I feel like you have to be healing up a lot of troops. And I guess it could help you when you're trying to like do the little trick where you're, queuing it up where you can just get helped a whole bunch of times and then it instantly goes. You just heal up a little bit and keep doing that. That can help you heal up more troops faster too. And so I don't think France is necessarily bad. Special unit is good. It's hard to really compare the infantry because they all have their special points. I'm gonna say like the tankiness of your infantry marches is going to be very good on here. And like the healing speed, you're going to get some benefit from. And then the wood gathering speed isn't useless. So all of them are more or less relevant, right? But the wood gathering speed, not as much. And then I would just be careful to really think about like, how much are you really going to be healing? For somebody who's going to be healing a lot, maybe, right? But I want to talk about some of the other choices so you can kind of see. I'm not going to say that France is bad because it's not. It's just not. But think about. I would like you to think hard and honest about the utility that you're going to get from everything else. That's all I'm saying. Specifically, the hospital healing speed. Now the new one, the Vikings. I'm impressed. The commander is actually really good. It's probably the third best epic commander in the game, if not it's third. No, it's not better than Joan of Arc, and it ain't better than Sun Tzu. But we're paired with Sun Tzu. Oh, sweet mama. We ain't talking about the commander, even though he's good. We gonna talk about the unit and then the civilization. 5% cavalry attack is fine, but the berserker increases health and defense. I'm pretty sure it's health and defense, or is it? I'll have to check that, but I know it gives you a considerable amount of health, extra health. It may be defense or attack. Either way, it's a really still good special unit. It's a good blend of stats that you will get increased, and then obviously the cavalry, the infantry attack. It's not as good. I think I would rather have the 3% health from France than 5%. Infantry attack. I'll probably prefer 3% health, but that's neither here nor there. It's for infantry only. Fine, it's good. The counterattack damage is kind of relevant, especially for infantry, right? Like they're tanks, and if people are focusing you, then you do deal more counterattack damage. So, it's okay. It's something interesting, right? And then troop load by 10%. You know that'll help you need less siege units. Maybe you can have less siege units in your city, and that can help in case you get attacked. Right, you won't lose as much. And then like just gather more resources when you go when we go and like fuck somebody's city up or some shit. Like fine, and that's gonna happen sometimes, right? Especially in KVK, and that's when you're going to be using this thing. Cause he offers like not a whole bunch of utility. Like that troop load is kind of most relevant in a KVK context because you're not actually attacking nobody's cities in your home kingdom. If that's happening, then that's not good. That's bad. You probably want to migrate at that point. Vikings are good. I like them. And they offer a whole different type of thing, right? Like they offer the most stats, right, out of the other two, the other two, and then the last one, right, is Rome. So and like Rome has a good special unit too. It's like all defense for the most part, right? All defense increase, and that's totally fine. And then it's even 5% more defense. And then the troop march speed, fuck me, like the I love infantry to death. They are my unit that I'm rocking with. Primarily, I'm saying that I'm Germany, but they are going to be the unit I rock with the most, right? When it comes to when it comes to fighting in KVK, and the food gathering speed, whatever, you know, it's going to matter a whole lot less. But that march speed, do not underestimate what mark and you know 5% doesn't seem like a lot, but it's all about incremental value. You get 5% here. I'm running the windswept set. I'm getting 6% there. Bonus, a little bit more, another couple 2% special talent. Right. I got march speed and the talent tree. Like it starts to add up. Right. And that might be the difference between your army getting wrecked because you can't get away and your army getting half wrecked because you can actually get away from the other person, right? So special unit is good and utility is good, right? With the 5% march speed, all in on the infantry plan. Here it is. It's hard to really say for infantry specifically. It's hard to really say which one is best, because here's it is. If you want the march speed, go Rome. If you want the best unit and then increase a good stat on all of your other units, let's say you only had like, because you're not going to go all infantry on every single march you bring to the field. That's just not true, right? You're going to bring, maybe two infantry marches at most, probably KVK1. Like, I mean, if you spend enough money, like, yeah, but how many armies do you want to dedicate to die, right? So at most, maybe you bring in two infantry and then like a cav march, two infantry and a cav, right? So your calves are going to benefit from that 3% health, and that's a stat that you really, really want, right? So that seems pretty good to me. Again, the healing speed. Take that how you want to take it, how much value you put on that. And then for the Vikings, like they offer, technically speaking, the most fighting stats. If it came to a infantry all rally, maybe, but I'm not gonna go there because I still think there's a better civilization for rallies. Still, I don't think if you're running an infantry all rally, Berserkers is it. The Vikings are it. I still think there's something that's just a little still better. All right. So I can't, even though I'm going infantry, I can't really say which one I would do. Right now, I'm, as much as I want to mess around with the Vikings, I'm more interested in France right now just because of the 3% troop health and some of the healing speed, and it is the best unit. But I could also see myself talking myself into Rome because of the march speed, because infantry is just so slow, and then we already know calves are going to be so dominant in the first KVK, but the Rome is what I would lean towards for KVK 1 for sure. Right, for sure is probably what I'll lean towards. But I can see France with the caveat that, like, yeah, you're not gonna have like 4 infantry marches. You're gonna have like at most 1, 2, and then like a cav march, maybe some archers. They all benefit from that. Versus these other two, only 1 unit, only your infantry will benefit. Okay, just remember KBK 1. All right, y'all been waiting very patiently with me, and I've been fucking with y'all on this video since the beginning with the Cavs. I know that's what everybody wants, and they want to shut up. Where the Cavs at? Right? I'm about to tell you. Here it is. I already talked about Germany. If you want to focus on cavalry and you're not a rally leader, Germany is it. Right, and then like you could stay Germany. Like I'm not gonna talk you even out of switching. Is it worth the benefits? You know, to switch. Like I said, I've mentioned that before. I don't really think so. I even think that Germany has the better unit out of the two, and I like the 10% action point. The utility is just insane. It just is. So I'm gonna say Germany is number 2, and Germany is number 2. But here it is: Germany is number 1 if you're not a rally leader. It's not. It's no question. It's number 1. Best cav, Germany. I'm not even gonna argue with anybody. I'll slap the shit out of you if you tell me otherwise. I'm not even. I'll be so pissed. Like I'm be what? I'm not gonna slap you. I shouldn't say that. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't get it. I just wouldn't get it. Now, the last, you can draw the short stick, right? You can do the math. The last one is the Mamluk. Man, I think they look the coolest. Now, Arabia is crazy. You get 5% increased cavalry attack. You get 10% damage dealt to barbarians and other neutral units. Then you get damage dealt by rallied armies by 5%. Now, let me tell you why this is the rally leader's dream. In the early game, you have to rally like passes and shit like that, right? That's barbarians, other units. That's additional 10%. You're going to be rallying with minus Al, most likely, right? You're going to get cavalry attack. Like when you're doing that specific activity, and I know that seems little, but like even our alliance struggled slightly with taking out the level 3 shrine. All of these are relevant for that activity, and the special unit matches up very well to Mamluk. Probably the second best special unit. It gives attack and health, so it's a blend of the damage and the best stat that you want. I don't even know how to say this. Like 5% more damage to rallied armies. Like yo, you're bringing 1.6 or 2 million troops, right, to attack structures, right, flags, stuff like that. They're, because especially if you run cavalry, like you're minus Sal, minus expertise on a whale. Sal is gonna probably be might be expertise too by that point if they're buying all of the daily bundles every day. Like yo, you know, or at least in a really really good spot, right? 5/5, like you can get a 5/5/1, or maybe they don't go for the second skill. They care more about, you know, the combat, so they do like try to do a 5/1 5/5. Like man, it would Cavs be so dominant, and it's everything just stacks up the Cavs in the early game, because it just so happens that what you rally the rally, you know, the rally civilization happens to be good, really, really good Cavs. Like, and then the early game has really easily accessible, you know, commanders that you can expertise relatively fast, under the caveat that you're spending like pretty good money. But it's just true. The rally leader is going to be spending the money. So Arabia is number 1, slam dunk. You can't get any better. You probably can't get any better for a rally with Cavs specifically. This is it. Don't even look nowhere else. And again, everybody's not rallying, right? So that's why I say I like everybody's rallying. That's why I say I like Germany because like maybe you're trying to get there, and the training speed and exponent recovery doesn't necessarily help you get there. You still, but it gives you more more things that you might want because like yeah, it might be nice to go Arabia then rally like forts and stuff, but like that ain't no big deal. Like like okay, fine, you can rally your forts pretty well. What the fuck ever? Like I don't know, right? So the recap for normal people, open field, right? Normal ass people. Germany, boom, Cavs, 100% best for everybody that's not a whale. Uh, I would for right now, like maybe the Vikings shock me, you know, but like Rome is very good, and that's like been the classic thing is the Rome. Some people might like France, especially a lot more earlier on because of the 3% troop health. I'm not sold on Vikings yet, but I could see the like there's this is probably the most even guys. I could see the argumentation for either. Just choose one. Whichever one. If you want the march speed, Rome. You want to work with other units, maybe some utility, troop health. Uh, I just, damn, I want to even Vikings. Vikings just to try it because I don't think it's bad either. It's on paper, it's not trash. Just to try it, right? And then if it's going to be between Korea or Ottoman, Ottoman is where it's at. Even if you weren't spending a whole bunch of money, like it's a good rally as well for archers. I think it's fine. I can see what you're trying to do with Korea. I'm not sold on that. The 3% research speed. This is a long ass video, but this is like I broke this motherfucker down. I did. I told you everything. Now, what am I doing? I already told you what I'm doing, but just to recap that too, because I said I'd do that at the end. I'm probably gonna go Rome. After all of this talking been doing Rome, Rome, here we come, most likely. Hopefully this helped you choose the civilization for KVK. This is not what you should be switching to. Right now, we're still in the development stage, and you still got a long ways to go before you even fill up enough marches to make these things super valuable to you. Focus on the utility. Focus on the utility that your civilization offers, and not so much the special unit right now, because it doesn't matter as much because you're not augmenting the stats as much. You don't have, 3-4 marches of all infantry. Not yet. We're not there yet. But we will get there, and this is what this video is here for, is to help you prepare for the future. Do what others won't do today so you can do what others can't tomorrow. Amen. See you in the next video.